each site if you flip the page. It looks like site 1 would be the preferred site for the committee. Just looking at it, but that's on the next page. Has a breakdown of costs and all that. Includes line striping, nets and poles.
This is nicely
Fence,
done. A lot of people don't
bleachers.
usually give this amount of detail.
So, I mean, everything is listed there, so there should be no, even some of the stuff we were looking at, just from vendors I've dealt with, you know, ordering nets and poles from different, you might save a few bucks, but he only has it listed as $2,000, which is pretty close to what it would cost, the line striping, 10-foot fence, all that stuff. So it's broken down pretty good, so I would imagine these numbers will be pretty close if we were to send out the bid. So I guess what I need to know from the committee is if do we want to pursue site 1 to get the actual costs to submit, I guess, the cost from Carbon Engineering, what it would cost to submit the proposal, submit it to the borough for approval, because we're going to need all that before we go out to bid anyway. So it's not committing to anything at the project by doing that.
Right.
So
Yeah, I mean, we talked before about, whether or not we can do this project, and, we talked about collecting some other metrics together, and I don't even remember what that was. I have to go back to the meeting minutes, but, it seems like some of that's fallen to the wayside, like how many students, what do we expect, and,
I think there's some unknowns, because with having courts on site, you have the possibility of adding a female program to it, which we never had because the courts weren't available in the fall. So you could possibly, the amount of people that impacts is kind of unknown at this point, because, I mean, also just having courts on site, you might have more interest.
Sure.
Because kids don't have to get bused to the courts, they don't have to get a ride from mom and dad to get them picked up, or they could, they're not walking back to town from the courts where they're at now. Here they could play tennis and still walk home if they live in town. So, I mean, there is some influences. I could figure out roughly what it would cost to, this year we got the courts, we rented them for free off Palmerton. It was kind of a one-year deal because we allowed them to use the football field with their construction, so it was kind of we traded usage, so I could reach out and see what it would cost next year.
I think it would be good to put a cheat sheet together just so that
We need to
people
know the
feel
cost of busing down there.
Yeah, like have like a number of, this is how many students participated this year, and, and if we went to Palmerton again next year, and then write about the women's team, like just put like a list of facts so that people can, know what the the big picture is.
Okay. Do we want to give Carbon Engineering a site to
Yeah, I would say
Keep
number
it.
1,
at least reach out for the cost of the cost to submit everything to the borough and all those additional costs, and
Yeah.
get the ball rolling with that?
Yeah, I mean, it costs nothing to get a proposal from them, and then that would also be additional information for the board to consider.
Okay. So we will pursue site 1, or location 1.
Are the tennis courts on that capital projects list?
I believe they are.
Yes, they are. Tennis courts, yes.
Yes.
The press box was not,
Middle school scoreboards, but I don't see press box. I see press box.
I do not.
the press box will have to come out of someone's school budget.
Does that mean that the tennis courts were already considered in the budget?
They were voted upon, there, if we can pay for that out of the money that's in capital reserve.
Okay. The only things listed there.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's, for $50,000 put anybody's budget.
We should probably share this with the committee, so they're aware of what we can and cannot get out of the capital reserve. Pass this around for now, and then we'll get copies for next meeting. Okay, I will reach out to,
Now, that's not saying, Kyle, and I'm just going to clarify this, which subject is wants to throw in that, add on to that for the next year. You know, because then before the board transfers money over to capital reserve, they'll already know what things are planned.
So if something's earmarked for in there, like the tennis courts, and it's way over budget, and there's extra money, but it's not listed, we can't use that for,
Well, capital reserve doesn't have a budget in and of itself,
okay. Like he has 400,000 for tennis courts, so we're looking, you know,
so that
Past
would be
that.
similar.
yeah, so that would
Right,
be,
you know, just
just carry
good
over.
stewards and
Okay.
cheaper.
Perfect. All right, I will, to wrap up, I'll reach out to Carbon Engineering, let them know we're looking at location 1, of our choice would be preferred location 1, and then do some cost analysis, what it'll cost next year as to continue what we were doing this year. And then, probably next, we'll have that, and then it'll probably be a decision, I guess, to advertise. If we just pursue to go this route, we'll probably have to advertise for bids on it, after that for next meeting. So I'll get all that, we'll break down the costs and what we expect, and total costs if we do that from Carbon Engineering, and go from there. Okay. All right. Sale of elementary buildings, I don't have any updates on that at this time. I haven't heard anything else. Anybody have anything? I don't know, it was just listed on there from last time, so it'll probably be listed every meeting, so there's no point in taking it off. At this time on that. High school, no update at this time on high school, everything's kind of cleaning crews in there, get through all the classrooms, cleaning everything. It needs to be cleaned. Last meeting, middle school was discussed what the status of the portables was. Currently, they're being used to have surplus items that the district may still be using from the elementary schools as we clear them out, so it's extra space for those materials right now. They're both almost full. But that's what they're currently used. Once we have an idea of what stuff we will be keeping and surplusing, those will probably be emptied, and then the decision will have to be made on what to do with those units. Elementary center update on cleaning. Our cleaning crew spent the first 2 weeks, I believe, the whole crew in the building, getting all the classrooms cleaned and ready to waxed, floors cleaned, scrubbed, waxed, all that stuff. Got to basically all the classrooms are done that they could get into, except for like 3 or 4 are currently being used as storage for all the chairs and desks that the company's put together. So as they get emptied out, we will be able to get in there and clean and get those rooms ready to go. Mahoney is completely emptied out. We had a meeting yesterday with BHA, just a walkthrough, just to make sure there wasn't anything left behind. East Penn, it should be done today, maybe no less than the end of the week. That'll be emptied out. They have all the classroom stuff out of there for the elementary center. Right now they're just grabbing the surplus stuff and taking it up to the middle school. And then they will move to Franklin. From there, since those buildings are not sold yet, the Franklin and David, the push will be just to clear out all the items that are going to the elementary center. The surplus items and stuff can stay in those buildings for now, just because we don't need to. Those buildings are still ours, so we don't need to clear them out at this point. July 16th, there's an inspection, and if everything goes well, we will be allowed to start moving into that building. Right now, we are allowed to put items into the rooms, in the boxes and stuff, but we cannot set up the buildings yet because we have not got the inspection, and that is July 16th. So hopefully that goes well, and we can start moving. I would think by that point we may have all the materials from the elementary schools. And Mahoney and East Penn are smaller ones, but they've gone about a week and a half each of them, so we should definitely be out of Franklin by then and start at David. And then from there, we have to go to middle school for some of the 5th grade stuff to move in, and hopefully by the end Yeah, they're wrapping that up. I know they're gonna start paving, soon, because I saw the signs out along the road, no parking signs, and, they're getting the base layer down in the parking lot.
Who's gonna be cleaning the windows? You know, in those stairwells?
Oh, they had the
Yeah,
college and high school kids were in there.
Yeah, they're not gonna be cleaning
You
those.
can't reach those, you need some.
Oh,
staff.
base, yeah, they'll be, we have lifts and stuff, they'll be able to get on the lifts and clean them, but that's all the contractors to clean those, because they have the equipment to do it. They have a lift right in the main lobby there right now.
That's a good job.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering.
Yeah. Athletic fields, I don't have anything at this time. Equipment, band shed, purchase order placed. Spoke to Lowe's originally, they had told us that they could get it in the June budget, but then they called back and the company itself said they were backlogged, so it's not coming until August now, so it'll be on this year's budget. All we have to do is prep the site with stone for that. And that'll be, I forget, August 23rd. So not as early as we'd like, but it's ordered and that's not really, we ordered it in June, so we tried to move on it, but the company's backlog. New business elementary center transition update, kind of what I touched on earlier, just going building by building. We started Mahoney, East Penn, Franklin, Shell David, and middle school, moving all the materials into the classrooms, and leaving them there until we get the go-ahead, and then we'll allow personnel as we can into the building to start setting up. Anticipated capital budget items, that's this sheet. We'll make sure everybody has a copy of that for next time so we know what we can and can't use out of that budget. I don't know who developed that sheet, but